Hello everyone, it's Kelly here. How are you doing today? Coming online today to do an intuitive card reading. So if you would like a little card reading, come online. What we're going to be doing is, first of all, I'm going to be doing a card reading with angel cards. So angel cards are really what I would always prefer. I don't tend to use tarot cards because sometimes you can get a lot of negative information. It's not as pure and constructive and positive as the angel cards. So it's just the same as getting a message any other way. But the good thing about angel cards is the vibration tends to be a little higher. So the guidance that you get is never really sent to frighten you or scare you. It's always really towards your highest good. It's always to something really positive. I love working with angel cards. And just so you know, it's not important that you believe in angels or that you have any connection to angels at all. It's just a way to bring the messages through. And it's much like if you come online and we're doing some healing and I tune into you and I'm like, oh, you need to change this thing or that thing. It's the same thing, it's just we're doing it through a set of cards, okay? That's the only difference. So welcome to everyone. If you've come online, please do let me know who you are and where you're from. And we're going to get into this card reading. Now the way we're going to do it today is we're going to select one card that's for everyone connected to spiritual awakening, and then we're going to select 3 additional cards. So I'm going to invite you to kind of tune in and sense which card is going to be right for you, number 1, number 2 or number 3. Just tune into that energy and work out what would be right for you, and then we're going to get into taking those cards. So again, say hello below, let me know who you are and where you're from. I'm just going to give a quick share of this video to our Facebook group so that everyone can join us. I don't want anyone to miss their special card reading, and we'll get into the cards in just 1 second. So let's see, just sharing the video. Sorry guys, it's always important to make sure everyone gets to access these videos. Really important to me that everyone gets the option. So we'll just share this to the group. And hi Barb, thanks for joining us. I can see she's from Pennsylvania. Awesome. I love it when I see some familiar faces on here. It's great to see you guys over and over again, so thank you for joining us. Right, we're almost there and then we'll get into the card reading. So again, I want you to focus on which is going to be your card, number 1, number 2 or number 3. And what I want you to know, that's us shared to the group now, what I want you to know is when you're selecting the number, you should always go with the first one that pops into your head. The first one that pops into your head is kind of the soul answer. It's the subconscious speaking to you. When you start deliberating over it and you go, I don't know, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, you're kind of moving more into mind territory. So the first thought, what number, 1, 2 or 3? And it's rarer, but if you tend to get kind of caught between it's this one, it's that one, I can't quite make my mind up, it might be that there's 2 messages for you that you need to look out for. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen, particularly with spiritual awakening. So we're going to get into that. So Barb's chosen number 1. Everyone else, let me know what card is resonating with you, number 1, 2 or 3. So I can see Capo says number 3. Fantastic. So I'm going to start shuffling the cards. I've already cleared them, so they're nice and clear in their energy for everyone. And we're going to first of all pull a card specifically for all of us with who are going through spiritual awakening, because we're struggling as well just now. Just because we're spiritual doesn't mean we're not struggling. So I can see Janice has chosen number 1. Awesome. Okay, so just give it a wee second to tune in and get the right card for us. Collective one. Okay, here we go. I can feel that's the right one. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I don't know if you guys will see this back to front, but if you look at the image, that's the most important thing. So change in direction is what we're being shown. Change in direction. So this is the card that is for all of us, and if you look at that lovely picture, there's a lot of aspects of birth in the picture. So this is the best way to do card readings. I'm going to be getting into this over the next few weeks. When you get a card reading, what you want to do is absorb the message. Sometimes you can read the little excerpt below, it can help. I don't tend to do that. I tend to tune in and see what stands out to me. So look and see what stands out to you. But this card is very much all about new beginnings. It's about the birth of a new project. I feel that there's a lot of creative energy coming in. Hi Betsy, thanks for joining us. There's a lot of creative energy coming in for all of us, and I feel like this is about, it's about following our path. So we've been talking in the last few videos about really stepping into your calling, stepping into your power. So it's very much about choosing which direction to go in next. And what this image shows us is that we're getting guidance. So we've got the lovely stork there. It's not a stork for us, but that might be a spirit animal for you. There's guidance there. We're not alone in choosing what path to take and how to get there. We are being assisted. And the fact that we're up in the clouds here tells me that there's this kind of heavenly spiritual component. So as we make these decisions to decide where to go next, which new project to birth forth, which aspect of ourselves, our inner selves, our childlike selves, and our most authentic selves. The child is the most authentic part of you. It's about really moving in that direction and recognising that we are supported, we're guided, we've got this higher vantage point. The fact that we've got a bird here doing that tells us that there's the higher vantage point. That's what they see from up above, they see to down below, and that's what Spirit is doing for us right now. So that's a message for all of us. Where we are right now, we're moving in a new direction. It's sunny, it's light, we're moving into a positive shift. It's all going to be okay, and we've got that heavenly aspect as well. So the spirituality is leading us in that direction, and that's kind of what we've been covering over the last few weeks, isn't it? We've been talking about that in some of the videos. Okay, so that was the card for all of us. Now we're going to get into a special card reading for you. So again, if you've joined us, let us know, is it card 1, 2 or 3? And again, always going with the very first thought. You don't mull it over for too long. Whatever number popped in first is the right one. Okay, so do let us know below, what is your card number? So of course we're going to choose card number 1 first of all. So card number 1. Ooh, I can feel it. Powerful energy. Lovely. Okay, so if card number 1 is your card, this is what we're being shown. So I know it's a little bit backward for you guys, but it's about see only love. Now there's lots of information I can feel coming from this card. If this is your card, this is an indication that you need to tune in a little bit higher in your vibration. So I'm sensing that there's a lot of negativity. I'm sensing that you might be feeling, I was going to say low, actually anger is coming up. You might be feeling a bit angry, a bit frustrated. And you're being shown that love is the way, tuning into the positive energies and the energy of love that's all around you. And I also feel like these little angels at the bottom are actually some sort of connection that you've got in your life. It might be children, or it might be someone younger than you. It could be a younger sibling, but there are energies there that want to support you and love you, and there's a sense of being a little bit distracted by that at the moment. And the thing that I'm sensing is distracting you is actually largely to do with your awakening. So what we're seeing is the fact that we've got the moon highlighting in the back of this picture would mean that you're very sensitive to astrological events. So shifts in the new moon, the full moon, I feel like any sort of astrological shift is maybe throwing you out of alignment, and it's bringing up a lot of intense emotion. And when you get into that intense emotion, frustration, could even be depression, some of this feels a little bit darker. When you tune into that type of energy, you're actually not becoming as aware as you could be about the love that's actually available in your life, about the people who just want to love you and care for you and also look up to you. And there's also an issue with birthing a new project here as well. So it could be that you're getting a bit distracted because there's this thing that you want to focus on, this thing that you want to birth into reality, this idea or concept that you'd like to create, and it's kind of distracting you a little bit. And that's okay, because that's your path and that's what you're doing. But it's like, you can see, although we're being told to focus on love, this person in the image is focusing only on the heart and not noticing the other kind of people that are present there. So just be aware that you might be getting a little bit distracted. And what you're being shown as well is that the energy of the moon and astrological events are really powerful for you. So you're being told to harness that energy. I'm not being shown specifics because everyone's a little bit different, but what I'm being shown is that with this card and this message, you want to harness the energy of the shifts that come in every time there's a new full moon. There's something else there. It's also about manifesting. So the next time there's a full moon, if this card is for you, I'd like you to focus on what it is that you really want, define what it is that you really want, so that you can send that out into the universe. Because what I'm seeing is that you've got a very powerful connection to the moon, and you can use that energy to draw things into your life and to birth your projects into reality. So this is kind of leaning on from the first card that we had. It's all coming together. So focus on love, don't get too distracted, try to notice the connections that are available in your life, harness the energy of the full moon, the new moon, and any astrological events, and focus on your manifestations. Okay? Fantastic. So if that was your card, let us know if anything resonates, any thoughts or feelings that you have right now. Oh, one's jumped out, so that means we've got something else. So this is outside of the other reading. This is another card for all of us, okay? So this card that jumped out, we're talking about daydream. Daydream is the energy that's coming up. So what I'm being shown here with this card is that, again, I feel like it's the energy of distraction. We're a little bit distracted right now, and what you'll see is that she is very, she's very distracted. She is, she's kind of in a spiritual energy, and she's happy and content enough, but she's not focused on the present world. We've got all this smoke going around, and that would be like the other world, the kind of other realms. So again, it's another indicator, and this might have jumped out really in reference to card 1. So if that was your card, this might be another, like, I really need you to take this on board. You're too distracted. So watch out for spirituality becoming too intense in your life, because that can happen. In awakening, watch out for it becoming such a big thing that you can't focus on what you're supposed to be doing, and that you're kind of losing yourself and losing your time, losing your awareness, because you're kind of daydreaming a little bit too often. Okay, so watch out for that. Oh, it's great when these cards jump out and we just get another little insight. So again, let us know if any of these messages are resonating with you, if that was your card, and we're going to pull card number 2. Okay, card number 2. I can see a few of you have already commented, so hi to everyone. I can see that Putty wants number 2, and hello is for number 3. Fantastic. Oh, here we go. It's jumped out as. Okay, gosh, we're getting a lot of cards today. 2 have jumped out as, okay? So the first thing, I'm just seeing what one I feel drawn to first. Okay, first one for you, if your card was number 2. Sorry, we're getting little reflections here. We've got ask. Ask. So again, I don't know if you noticed, we've got this similar concept of the moon being a really big contributor to our challenges right now. So for you, we've got the moon as a really big player, so it's affecting your energies. It is helping you connect to your higher self, so that's positive, but there's also a sense of being out of your power a little bit. So usually this card would indicate it's safe for you to ask, so ask. But really what this card I feel is saying right now is that you're I'm trying to put this in the nicest way. You're getting a little bit too focused, again that same theme, a little bit too focused on the spiritual stuff. So if you're spending a lot of time praying, meditating, going to psychic readings, okay, we're doing one now, but you know, searching outside yourself for answers all the time, begging for answers, there's a helpless energy connected to this card, and really what it's telling you is you're not helpless at all. Okay, so that if that energy is coming up for you, you're in a space where spiritually you're a little bit vulnerable. This is a child. You're a little bit vulnerable in this space, so we want to move you out of that energy and into something a little bit more positive and a little bit more powerful, which we've got in the next card, okay? So this next card that we've been given, if your card was number 2, is Cleanse and Detoxify. Now look at the energy of that image. Look at the colours of that image. Look at the strength. So this is very much about when you get out of that energy of asking, of begging, of praying, whatever it is that you feel, out of that helpless energy, which we all feel in spiritual awakening, and that's okay. But when you get out of that energy and you shift out of it, it's really showing you the true power that you have underneath, and the true power that you have as a light worker, because look at all the light beaming out of this image that we have. This woman is totally in her power. And she's also able of, I feel, making things happen. There's an energy of being able to affect the things around you in a positive way, to help things to grow, and that your presence is important. Your presence makes a difference wherever you go. You can uplift others but it's like we're getting the contrast. So what Spirit's really showing us here is, right now you're living like this, like a vulnerable little child, and you're asking for answers, you're asking for help, when really this is who you are. So it's kind of like a little gentle nudge to say, that's not who you are. That's not who you are. You are a powerful being. You're a powerful spiritual being, and it's time to step into your power. So very much time to step into your energy. Again, we've got very creative energy coming through. So if you're feeling, again, these messages just keep coming. If you're feeling like you've got some sort of creative project that you want to do, something that you've been meaning to do, maybe in your life, some project you want to get done, some new career path you want to go on, some healing energy, that's the big thing that's coming through that you want to work with or want to learn, this is the indicator that it's time to do that. It's time to look at stepping into your power. So a very powerful card. Let me just see if there's anything else. Yeah, it's also very much an energy of you have a greater effect than what you imagine. You have a greater effect than what you realise. Look how big these wings are and how they span out, and this spiritual connection. And I think it's very much about bringing that down into the reality. So we're going from the heavenly yellow and white and down into orange and almost red, which are the earthly colours. The fact that you're present here, it's a physical presence, bringing your higher self down, which is what we've been talking about recently. So awesome. Okay, so now we've got card number 3. So I can see Janice says it makes a lot of sense to her. That's awesome. We've got other people. Remember, the cards only got up to 3, guys. So I can see a few people who are for number 3. Anne, Tara, and Tadas was number 2. So you've just had your reading. So number 3, here we go. Gosh, we're really getting a lot of messages. 2 have fallen out. Okay. Oh, this is so weird. It's the exact same 2 as last time. How weird is that? So what this means is, I think what the guides are really trying to say is that we're all on the same path here, and we're getting a push of the same energy. It's coming up again. So what I'm really sensing is that the messages that we've had on 1, 2 and 3, they might be relevant in all ways to you. But there's also something else, so I'm just going to tune into these, because it doesn't mean that that's your only card reading. It means that there are still important aspects to this, so I'm just taking a little look. I feel we're working with inner child energy here. I feel that there may be some inner child issues coming up for you. There may be some pain in your past, pain in your childhood. There may be some vulnerability that's coming up just now. So be aware of that. If you're having a tendency to get into negative emotion, if you're having a tendency to feel upset, if you're feeling that there's pain coming up, it's the inner child that's coming up for healing. But what we're really being shown is that when you step into that healing, that higher spiritual aspect of healing, what's really going to happen is you're going to birth your new self. So you see this child in the image has the wings. When you step into that energy, you're going to kind of unveil the higher spiritual aspect of yourself. So it's all going to start to awaken, and you're going to bring it forward, but I feel like you need some healing first. I also feel like there's a lot of chaos in your life. There's a lot of turmoil, and it also feels a little bit as if you carry a lot of pain, but you don't really acknowledge it. You carry a lot of pain, but you're very focused on the outside world, because your outside world is so chaotic. It feels like it's a very fast moving energy and a very intense energy. And then I feel strongly that when you start to heal this inner child part of yourself, what you're going to find is that you calm the chaos. You start to find this peace within. And I think it's very much about recognising that peace has been a very absent thing for you. So this would indicate quite a bit of damage. So we're sending healing energy to you if that's what's been going on for you. So there's definitely some damage there, and I also feel that there may be some specific events in your past. Now I'm not being shown what they are, because of course it's general, but there may be some issues in your past that you really want to look at for healing, and you'll know what they are because they'll come to mind right now, and the first ones that come to mind are the right ones. And I also feel like spirituality is kind of going to be your saviour. The more you get into your spirituality, the more peace and balance you're going to find within, and the more that you're going to be able to comfort this little inner child part of you. It's not going to be in pain anymore, and that's going to be a really wonderful thing. And the more that you can do that, the more you lighten up. This moon image almost becomes like a halo. So it's like the more you do that, the more connection you're going to get with your higher self. So you can move into that now. And I also want to note that there's light all around. So we've got the moon here, and we've got all this light shining on this little kid's back. So it's like no matter what way you turn, there is a spiritual connection. He's facing the front and praying, he's got spiritual connection, light falling on the back and light behind. There is guidance and light all around you. You're not alone, is the message coming from this card. Now, isn't that the weird thing? You can have the exact same cards but different messages come through. I think the guides are playing with us a little bit today. So I can see Mary is asking for card 1. So when this video finishes, just go back to the beginning and you'll be able to see what card was for you. Tanika says, how interesting. I'd chosen reading 3, but the cards from reading 2 really resonated with me. Sometimes you'll find that. Tara says, thank you. And Tanika says, it's already working. Good. So here's the other card for number 3. Like I said, the same one's popped out again. I think the guys are just playing a little joke on us. So we're still getting good messages. So in here, it is about stepping into your power like before, but I feel like there's a different vibe coming through this card. Let's just have a look. Ooh, heart healing. That's what's coming up. Heart healing. What I'm seeing is that there is pain and there is rawness being held in the heart, and that it's going to need to be acknowledged, and it's going to need to be healed. And in order to do that, you're going to have to be willing to go within. And I feel that you may have avoided doing that because it feels so painful. But there's also an energy here of please don't worry, because when you start to unleash that pain, you're going to unleash your power. And what we're being shown here is this, it's almost like a kind of cataclysmic event. The minute you start working on the heart, it's almost as if your energy is just going to blast out in every direction, just like this image. It's like it's spanning out everywhere, this higher connection, and again this lovely kind of halo type energy up around the top. It's just going to completely open you up spiritually. And I feel like maybe with the pain that you've had, you've not really been able to get hold in life enough to fulfill the hopes, dreams, the goals. You might even find that it's difficult to find the basics. That's the energy I'm getting, is that it might be a continual struggle for you just to manage to maintain some of the basic things in life, and that's really painful for you. But what we're being shown is that you're much more than what that would appear, and the way that you perceive that. You are much more as a spirit, and there's again the energy of really being able to affect things, but it's like the pain is disconnecting you from your power, and the message that we're getting here is you have no idea how great your power is. You have no idea the energy of your spirit, and it's all just getting ready to step forth. It's all just getting ready to become embodied here on earth. Oh gosh, you're going through a lot of healing. I'm also picking up past life healing. I think there may be some past life healing that needs to be done, and what I'm being shown is it would be really ancient stuff. We actually covered this over the last few weeks. It's been a big issue for some people, but it would be advanced civilizations that you've been a part of that have fallen. So advanced civilizations where you've had all these powers. I even feel you've been able to affect nature, you know, affecting all these plants, working with herbs, healing powers through all the different types of elements as well as within yourself. And I feel that when you can do some of that healing, and it's not necessary that you have to even go for healing sessions. It feels like this is just going to start to heal through your emotions, through your thoughts, through your feelings. That'll give you some guidance. But I do feel that you're going to be coming back into those skills and very much working with plant and flower energy. So it could be flower essences, it could be herbal medicine, it could be natural foods. There's some sort of connection there with being able to help others cleanse and detoxify their bodies, taking care of their bodies with the natural elements, but you're going to have this kind of supernatural connection to it. That's the really interesting thing. Awesome. So some really interesting cards that came up there. And a really interesting way of the guides giving us their information and working with us. So I'll just check a couple of comments. If you want to give us any feedback or you want to mention anything, do so now, just before we finish up. Let's see, Mary says thanks. Trinu, I think that is. Thank you, you're welcome. Brittany's saying hello, hello. And Vanessa saying good morning to you. And Brittany is watching from West Virginia, awesome. And I can see that Julie says, I chose number 2, but I totally resonate with all parts of card 3. Thank you. You're very welcome. And I think that they've all been connected. So I think what it is that we're all on a similar trajectory. That's what the guides are showing us. We're all on a kind of similar pathway. So the themes are the same, but there's just some little differences in each aspect of what's really speaking to us right now. So watch out for the things that are coming up. And do let us know below any interesting insights you've had, any shifts that you've had, and we'll maybe do more of these if it's something that you find particularly helpful. Please do let me know so that I know what to provide for you guys and what's supporting you right now. And do remember to click below to get notified when we go live, because it's just if and when I'm available. And we'll be trying to come on here as often as we can, so I can see some thank yous. You're all very welcome. I love doing this work, and thank you for joining us and watching today and having your card reading. So do have a good day, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.